really need you to get this. Substance over quantity. A lot of people get caught up in quantity, but I need you to get to the substance part. So right now, man, like I want to say about nine months ago, I ended up meeting this guy. He was like, "Yeah, man, I had like anytime I meet someone in anyone I meet, a Hispanic person or a person who I can see or I hear speaking Spanish, I start using a little bit of the Spanish that I have, and I've been doing that since like I've been out of high school. And like the older that I get, I realize that there are a lot of people in the world who speak Spanish, and if I'm being honest, there's a barrier, and so I want to be that barrier. I want to be the person who breaks that barrier. And I remember meeting this guy, and it was so divine. I had went to go see a driver, and to help him out. I'm a supervisor at my job, and so while I was supervising, I see this guy in the alley, and so I say to him, you know, Buenos dias, amigo. So he look at me and go, amigo, you speak Espanol? And then I go a little, and so I try to throw the action on there, even when I'm like talking in English. And my man, like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. He made me have a conversation with him, bro. I swear. He was like, he was carrying me like I was a little baby. And what he said to me was, he said, it's substance, not quantity. And check this out. He said, man, listen, it's so many people who want to learn a lot of words. But he like, no, man, it's the heart. Like, I can feel that if you mispronounce a word, I could feel where your heart is at. I can hear that you're trying. He like, most people don't even try. They either got it or they don't. But that's the problem. It's like it's not a you got it or you don't. You get a little bit and you polish it and then you continue to evolve that thing. But I'm talking about I couldn't believe the high school Spanish that I know. I was able to fluently have a conversation with my man. I don't even know a whole lot of Spanish. But what I'm saying is, like, people not even trying. And what he said was, he like, it's in the world that we live in today, there is a gap. Like, there is a deficit of people who don't know how to speak Spanish. So he desperately, like, I'm talking about, my man is so desperate to have a conversation. I'm not saying that he like desperate, like he a desperate person. But imagine you being out of your homeland or wherever it is that he was from. Imagine being around people who don't speak the language that you speak. So he probably desperately want to have a conversation with someone. He probably want to tell. He probably dealing with suicide. You just never know. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. He impacted my life on a whole nother level. But I don't know how I impacted his life. Like he probably was like, man, I've been waiting to have a conversation like this. I've been waiting for someone to try to talk to me. Like, do you know? I know they say trying don't get you nowhere, man. But you got to put that into context. It's like, okay, I tried to pay a bill. I tried to show up at work on time. Okay, like, that's one thing. But trying to pronounce a word, like trying to talk, trying to exchange emotions through a conversation, like, that's a whole nother level. And my man, like, yo, that's all we want. Do you know that I'm from Detroit and we don't even always speak fluently? Like, I know how to speak a certain way when I go into different type of rooms, but naturally I speak with slang, like colloquialism. And it's nothing wrong with that. But my point is, what's the difference with Spanish? And that's what he said to me. He like, amigo, it's substance, not quantity. It's I can hear your heart in this. I can hear that you're trying to have a conversation with me. He said the fact that you're willing to want to have a conversation with me is huge. Like, people don't even people. Do you know that I see people every day that speak English that don't even say good morning to me? I said Buenos dias, amigo, and my man just like lost it, and it made me so uncomfortable because I was only on some like basic like, yo, I see you. Let's have exchange a few words. Not saying that I was being funny acting, but I had a job to do. And my man like, no, we about to have this conversation, and I had it too. And I was just like, wow, man. And he got to ask me what all did I do, and he was like, yeah, man, keep it up, man, keep doing that thing, man. And I'm like, wow, I got somebody else who recognizing what it is that I'm trying to do. They recognizing the impact that I want to have. Do you understand that when people see that you trying, they'll add to your fire? My man, like, oh, hey, go, amigo, here go the calls. He giving me the calls. He giving me all the game. He like, no, all you got to do is this. Man, what's crazy is 9 months ago, I bought a membership for Babbel. Shout out to Babbel. If you haven't heard about Babbel, Babbel is a Spanish-speaking app that teaches you how to speak Spanish a little at a time. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. The link will be in the bio. But I bought Babbel. I think it's like $15 a month. It's not bad. And you know what's crazy? You can actually write that off on your taxes, and because it's a form of education, so you ain't got to worry about losing money. You're going to smoke it up anyways. I'm just playing. But for real, though, it's $15 a month, and it teaches you grade level Spanish. Substance, not quantity. Like, don't worry about, man, Mike, I'm scared. Substance, not quantity. Bro, listen. My man, like, yo, start that. You start something. Because what will happen is you will start to say something, and then the person who you're having that conversation with will lead you into the rest of the sentence. So now you know what you're doing? You're developing and cultivating a relationship, and you learning at the same time. Like, how better do it get? You're learning, and the person who you're learning with get to see the genuineness, the sincerity. They get to see your heart. You think they ain't gonna want to polish you up and get you together? You think if they see you pushing the car down the street, a person ain't gonna stop, oh man, my man pushing on his arm, I want to shut it down, I want to help him out. People will help you get this game. So I need you. I need you. Like, substance, not quantity. In everything in your life, substance, not quantity. Once you learn that tip, what tip is that? Substance, not quantity. Once you learn that tip, then you'll be able to pass go and collect your 200. Peace.